Welcome everyone. We are indeed playing Blackgate. Well, I'm playing Blackgate. You people are just watching. It's me, lovely Parasite, and I figure let's take it back to basics. Let's do what we originally did, and let's play a visual novel to see how it goes. And what better visual novel to play than motherfucking Blackgate? So, without further ado, let's fucking start this and see how it goes, okay? What's your first name? Oh shit, hold on. My first name is Locker. What the fuck? My name is Locker. Is the main menu music supposed to still be playing? What the fuck is this? Yawn. What the fuck? What am I listening to? Dude, I haven't played this game in like 6 years. The creator is like a questionable person. He doesn't really update this game as he should. He pretty much is running some kind of money laundering scheme or some shit. I don't know. It seems I've been driving forever. I mean, okay. Story and script, Bane and Ivy. Who the fuck is Ivy? My foot is starting to hurt from holding down the gas pedal this entire time. I wish I had cruise control. It would really make this journey easier. My eyes burn and want to close. I've got to keep myself awake. Okay. Produced and directed by Bane. Alright, man, you don't gotta stroke your own wiener here, okay? Come on, wake up and listen to that radio music. It's not something I like. Maybe I should change it. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. What are we gonna change this shit to? Get this fucking hillbilly music out of my ear. Put some soft rock on. I don't think this country is the best genre of music to keep me going yet. You could say that again. I'll have a much better time staying awake to this. Speaking about my life and time, it shouldn't take this long to get to my friend's place. Shouldn't take this long to get to my friend's place. They're having a house party. You know, the kind where they rent the house in a remote location, throw a fun shindig without worrying too much about people having to drive. I'm not the biggest drinker, but I tend to have fun when I don't have any responsibilities. I haven't seen one of them in quite a while, so I really just want to catch up and see if he's the same as I remember. I really enjoy when you meet a long-lost friend and it feels like no time has passed. You can pick up where you left off. Sadly, it doesn't happen that often. People tend to grow up. I turn my sore neck to take a look at the GPS. Well, the GPS says, well, that's not right. Zoinks. In fact, that is horribly wrong. I still have to go several more hours? But how? It's almost like I'm entering Blackgate. The time limit isn't the thing that scares me. It's the lack of sleep. How about that? I think I picked low on gas last time. Lack of sleep this time. It is in fact that my eyes really burn. I tried turning on the air conditioner, opening up the window, and blasting the radio with awful music. Nothing seems to work too long. I don't want to pull over and sleep in a car. That seems rather sketchy, especially considering where I am, you know, in these horror movie-ass woods. Nah, son, you don't want to do that shit. This is a prime location for a chainsaw murder. That's what I'm saying. That movie was actually pretty scary. It didn't. I hit a bump and my forehead bounced off the steering wheel. Damn, how big was that bump? I rubbed my eyes back alive and grabbed the volume dial to turn up the radio. I mean, okay, not my type of music, but alright. The different music should be keeping me awake. I was just sick and tired of all the downloaded music I had purposed for this road trip. Downloaded music. What year is this? Justin this, band with numbers in their name that, pop stars claiming to be gods. It got all too repetitive. Fuck is this guy talking about? Yo, this is not me. I'm not a fucking like a old geezer like this guy. So this is what it must be like to be a trucker. The radio and the road, so glamorous. Yeah, keep telling yourself that when you're falling asleep. Well, at least. And there goes the radio. The one thing keeping me awake and sane. Well, it looks like I'll have to get the aux cable and just... And there goes the car as well. In moments like this, I try to stay positive, but nah. Well, time to get out and see why my car decided to kick the bucket. Not like I'll know what I'm doing. It's the guy thing to do, right? I just need to get out of the car and open the hood and... Well, goddamn, I have no idea. It's just a bunch of metal and tubes and it's really hard to see without some light. I guess I should call for a tow truck. Or maybe AAA will be able to make it here. Cell phone to the rescue. And why did I think I was gonna have any signal out here? Of course there's no signal. There's never any signal when you're in a situation like this. I inspect my phone and notice a new app. Strange. I don't ever remember downloading it. What is this, the fucking metaverse for Persona 5? Maybe I should open it and listen in? The app boots up on my phone and it loads from a form of static on the screen. It's like an old TV screen instead of the radio apps I'm used to. Maybe I can radio for help, like an SOS? In the scratchy static, I can hear something. I press my ear closer. The static noise goes away and I can clearly hear someone speaking. A woman. Her voice is cold and calculating. She's giving me orders with authority. There is a possible disturbance on the South Road. Repeat, a possible disturbance on the South Road. Any officers in the area are allowed to use force to eliminate the threat. Well, it's a good thing I'm heading north. She speaks again. The outsider is a large metal and plastic structure which holds a singular organic entity. The organic entity has the capability of intercepting transmissions. It may or may not know of our arrival. Take caution. Well, it's a good thing I am freaking out. What is this? Is this the police? Is this the military? I don't want to get eliminated. Why would they want to eliminate me? What kind of place did I drive to? I'm sure if I stay here I will be fine. Just remain calm and pirate on. I'm sure I can make my case clear. When thinking, I tend to look up and a little to the left. I look up to see the stars are missing. But that is not what bothers me the most. It's the fact, if I'm counting correctly, there are 2 moons. It may be best if I grab my backpack and head out into the woods. Yeah, sure, okay. I can already tell that something is terribly off. My gut tells me to fly away from the situation. Whoa, dude, what are you unzipping there? Now, hold on a second. No, I'm just playing. My backpack contains clothes, a book, a bottle of water, a knife, and a lighter. Slinging the rather light pack across my shoulders, I head off into the dark woods. The forest is dark and dense, hindering my ability to travel with ease. If I use my cell phone for light, I can make my life easier, but I might alert anyone searching for me. Try and hide and go in the dark. Yeah, keep it as fucking dark and murky as possible, bitch. I stumble my way through the dark woods. I hit my head on branches and make a lot of noise. I fall to my knees and pick myself back up. I see the lights of a cop car in the distance pulling up to my vehicle. My vehicle. Stop and watch the cop. You know what? This is quite a different approach that I've never taken before. I'm not sure what to pick here. Because if I stop and watch the cop, I know that there's that fucking cop. Well, no, he's actually not. He's not a cop. He's a librarian. And that fucking guy that runs at light speed and shit. Stop and watch the cop. Fuck it, right? While I'm heading into the woods, I can see an officer out of his vehicle and approach my car. Get out of his vehicle and approach my car. He already has his weapon drawn. Damn! He is barking orders but notices the car is empty. Surprised, he turns to scan the area looking for me. Looking for moi? He doesn't have a flashlight. How can he see in the dark? It is then that his eyes reflect in the darkness. They shine directly at me. He points his gun and me and barks orders which I cannot How the hell? Man. I already know this is that hog character, like that pig guy. What should I try to do? I'm not too certain what I should try to do. How about I fucking, I know he's not gonna talk to me. So, how about I run away? I take this as my time to leave. I use my cell phone to help me run quickly, dodging trees as I go. As I keep running up and down hills and around trees, I hear someone yelling a distance behind me. That cop must be chasing me. I swing around a tree and make it into an open field of waist-high grass. The moon illuminates the field and highlights the dense fog meandering across it. I run my way through the thicket, stepping in mud a couple of times. A blanket of fog brushes past me, and I turn to see a figure standing in the field with me. Oh my gosh. This large, dark figure is just waiting there, about a soccer field or more away. I then hear the shouting of the cop in the distance behind me, and I turn to see him just entering the field. A figure in front of me, a cop behind me, something about rocks and hard places. You know what? Go to the figure, you know? We're feeling bold tonight, why not? I run towards the figure and I hear the cop yelling. It falls on deaf ears as I get close to the figure, and I see that I have made the wrong decision. What? A monster is crouched and ready to leap at me, and it does just that. In one quick movement, I am ravaged, and my life slips from my body faster than a toupee on a speedboat. I should be afraid of the unknown. I know you're fucking kidding me right now, right? This has to be a joke. Alright, we're back here. We're in the woods. Okay, now we know not to run into that monster or whatever it is. Also, we know to save before we make such decisions. So, what should we do? Stop to watch the cop? Keep going into the woods? I'm gonna say, you know, I'm just feeling a little curious. I just want to see what happens if we keep going into the woods. Let's save though. Yeah, put a save right there. I shouldn't head back. I would make too much noise and it is obvious they're looking for me. I swing around a tree and make it to an open field of waist-high grass. The moon illuminates the field and highlights the dense fog meandering across it. Blah blah, I make my way through the thicket, right? Ignore the figure. Ignore the figure. Try to hide. My heart stops and I duck into the grass and listen. I hear the rustling of it moving and I feel the low growl of the beast screaming out at me. It sounds like a low-pitched death metal scream with phlegm interrupting the howl. What the fuck is happening? Like, stay and hide? I try to hide and I hear the figure move closer to me. I can see that I have made the wrong decision. Oh my fucking god. A monster is crouched and ready to leap at me. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get up and run. It was watching me and stalking me. Whatever it is, I stand up and see this thing charging at me, and I start running into the forest. I can tell it is quickly gaining on me, and I turn to see its glowing eyes shining with bloodlust in the moonlight. As I turn back around, I see the forest right in front of me. I make it inside. I continue running as it appears that I lost the crazed animal. I don't hear any commotion behind me, and I take a moment to rest. This is surreal. Why am I running from the cops? Why is there a crazy animal just sitting in a field? Why are there 2 moons? So, you're the human I've been hearing about. Give me a break. Seriously, I can't keep running like this. I turn to see a horned individual just standing. Hey, devil. Are you going to keep running? I guess not. Know what I'm saying? I just sit and catch my breath. Yeah, what else can you do? Not yet, I see. Well, this is fortunate. You can keep running if you need to, but it won't do much good. So, will you cooperate? I guess I will. It appears I don't have much choice. Oh, but you do. That's why you're here. He gives a grin that sends a chill up my spine. So what is my choice, Mr. Devil? Vec, you can call me Vec. And your name is? Locker. Ah, yes, Locker. You have choices. A, we can go to the station and have you processed officially. B, you go run off into the woods. Or C, which is my favorite. I hide you away in an undisclosed location under lock and key until I deem necessary for your release. I don't really want to fuck with this guy, so, But then again, it's like, I don't want to go through the same shit that I did the last 2 times I played this game. So what if I hide with the devil, huh? What about that? I follow this devil through the woods. It doesn't have a hard time dodging and weaving through the branches. My cell phone's flashlight shines onto the back of the demon. What is he? Is he going to steal my soul? Why the hell am I following a devil through the woods? We are almost there. I know you have a lot of questions, and you are correct to feel stressed. However, you are now in the town of Blackgate, and you must leave those fears behind. That hiss he makes is very unsettling. I shouldn't make fun of speech impediments, although some of them are really funny. Bro, yo. For wheel, I duck under a branch and come out to a short cliff that overlooks a compact town. The buildings are all huddled together like a pack of penguins. Pack of penguins? I can see the streets that line their ways through the small city, like an intricate knit pattern or veins in your arm. They are the only things that really glow as I see the street lamps dimly lit on the roads. Fuck, everything looks like it should, except for the center of the town. It is a bit brighter and also void of larger structures. This is Blackgate. This is the town you're going to protect. Protect from what? It is better that I get you to safety before I explain. Vex simply walks down the side of this path, as if there was no need to check his footing. I guess you would call that sure-footed, but this is not that. It is as if he knows exactly where to place his weight before he even moves. I have to stumble and hold onto things to make my way down. Why would he say that I have to protect this town? It seems so dramatic, increasing my stress levels far above what they already were. This is the thing about stress. It is only about things that are going to happen or that have happened. Why am I following a devil into a strange town? We make it down the cliff and to the town. I see police lights in the distance. The red and blue bounce and reflect off of the dark pavement. Wait, there's police here? I heard they were going to eliminate me. It sounded like the military. Yes. The police force was put in place to protect the town from dangerous outsiders. Dangerous outsiders like you. They're this town's military force. Alright, it looks like you won't need me to protect this place. So after I go to someplace safe, can I go back to my car and go home? This is your home now, but listen, I got some good pussy waiting for me back home, so, you know? He is so blunt about it. The way he says that adds to the theatrics of it all. This has got to be just a giant joke. I must be getting pranked, yet here we are. I'm still following this pointy-tailed, small-horned devil into the dark alleys of this town. Blackgate. Even the name of the town has this sort of theatrical feel to it. Where are we going? To your new home, hidden and safe. It's right over here. A sharp-nailed finger motions towards a rusty door. He grabs the handle and pushes it open silently. He must be using WD-40 to make these things open so quietly, just like the rest of this place. Vec walks into the dark building and I follow. I can barely see, but my eyes react to a lamp being turned on. In this empty room, there is just a dusty lamp on a table. The cord is connected to an extension cable that has bare wires in some spots. The dry wood that I'm stepping on looks like an awesome fire hazard. So now what? This is my safety? An empty room with a table and lamp? No, your safety is down here. The devil bends over, grabs at a latch and pulls it open for the basement. He takes a couple steps down the stairs and disappears into the basement. I, of course, follow because I'm a stupid sheep. Why am I doing this? I enter the basement and it is much nicer than I expected. This is where you will stay until you are needed. I see that the room is pristine, no dust or dirt. There's a carpet on the stone floor and pictures hanging on the walls. There's a nice-sized bed with fluffy blankets and a desk with a chair. There's a bookcase filled with books and old notebooks. There are electrical outlets in a separate room with a toilet, sink, and a shower. It's like a hotel room except in the basement of an abandoned building and in a town that wants to kill me. With a devil named Vec. Wow, what has my life become? Before I can say anything, Vec interrupts me. Stay here. Stay hidden. I will call for you when it is determined that you are needed. You will be safe in here for as long as you remain. This town needs you, but there are many that live here who would rather you be gone. Since there is no leaving this town once you enter, for you, that would mean death. I assume you want to avoid death as long as possible. Am I wrong in my assumption? I want to stay alive, yes. Good. So will you stay here? I don't have much of a choice. Yes. Excellent. Now, your brain is sifting through questions to ask me. I will answer the obvious ones now. My name is Vec. As you are well aware, I am the messenger for the Chosen. The Chosen are tasked with protecting this town at all cost. What that means is, I make sure whatever plan the Chosen makes, I must oblige. The Chosen said that the human must be safe. So now, the human is safe. What is planned next, I do not know. I will let you know when I receive orders. Who am I hiding from? Those who would care to cause you harm. Those who believe the current plan is flawed, or those who are afraid of what you are, what you may or may not do. Why? It is said that you will cause the destruction of this town, killing everyone in it. Me? Ha! That's insane. I can barely do my taxes, let alone destroy a town. And killing? I've never killed anything in my life. I mean, maybe bugs, but never another person. This town is not filled with humans. It's filled with monsters. That means I'm even less likely to kill them if they are some 10-foot tall mega beast. If you say so. So, what do I do now? Sleep and rest. I will bring you food later. Vec just turns and heads up the steep stairs. Once he gets to the top, he shuts the door in the floor above me. I sit on the comfy bed and look around. I see the bookshelf and I go right up to it. It looks like most of them have been read over and over. Their bindings are bent and some of them are damaged. There are all sorts of different books, many in English, classics, but most are in foreign languages. I go to the notebooks and I find one of the most looked over. The front of it has a cross etched into it with a pen. I can still see the ink from whatever was used. I open the book and it's in Hebrew? I think it's Hebrew. I look at all the other notebooks. They have different things engraved in their covers. The Star of David, a Celtic knot, more crosses, a yin-yang, and various other religious symbols. I finally find a notebook that's in English. The first line reads, I write this in the year of our Lord 1660, and the first year of our King, His Majesty Charles II, long may he reign. I have found myself in a strange land inhabited by monsters and daemon. Jesus Christ. You mean to tell me that Blackgate has been around since fucking like BC? Like, what is going on here? I mean, not fucking like BC, but the 1600s? It is mysterious how I came to be in the strange land. And though the trials are dire, and though frightened I may be, I find strength in Him above to fight back these dark serpents that do chase me. If one may find my letter, and it be my last, know that I rely upon my faith steadfast and devout. Mine own name be Isaac Newton. The Isaac Newton. Okay. Alright. I shut the book, then open it again. It still reads, mine own name be Isaac Newton. I read on. The witching hour passes for the first time upon my arrival, and thus I find myself cloistered and secrete by a vile demon, though he be sweet-tongued and seeming trusting. The infernal creature names this place Blackgate, a strangely common phrasing for so alien a place. The adversary's messenger does scare me fierce, but I recall his words and they bestill my heart. Thus I am hardened in my certain knowledge of power of his grace. Whence do these demons come? Perhaps the perdition I have been sent, for many are my sins worst among these enmity. What the fuck is this guy saying? I have had from my mother above all. Wherefore are those hellish gates upon whose doors are written dark woods? Day 2. I know not how long I have been held, for time seeming strange does pass. But that pernicious beast that hath bring me food I do not refuse. But I do refuse, okay? For how could I thus eat or sup from Satan's bounty? The spake from the infernal tongue words affirming the most holy and righteousness of his power. With that honeyed tongue his efforts to convince it be not him above against whom he would fight, but that adversary against whom I swear a solemn vow and would have gone if given the chance. Despite his sweetened words, I must refuse, for he bear the mark and look of Satan. I know be an envoy of the enemy, but this vile emissary hath a name. He does call himself Vec. Bro, this dude is ancient. Day 3, again he comes, laden full with morsels. Tempting a tray is carried forth. I do refuse. However hard he does insist that my strength will not suffice, unfed. His claim would be that I cannot fulfill my righteous destiny forthwith without first tending to my mortal needs. I see through these mummers, tricks and spy within his eye that glimmer of falsehood and insincerity. Yo, Isaac Newton got some bars on him. Knowing my proclivity, knowing my proclivities, this Vec would win me with false forgers' texts to tempt my curiosities, Hebrew and Greek to ply my mind and bend me to his will. Knowledge though I do acutely crave, I must refuse the adversary's honeyed temptations. Day 4. I could not full-fledged resist the temptations offered by the creature. Among the many texts was a small leather tome in Greek recognizable at an instant. I could not believe the word that I found among such alien landscapes. Mayhaps this is not hell. Mayhaps the adversary is not here. Thereupon the good book I find my strength invigored. With holy and mundane sup, I strengthen to face this hellish place. Pain and illness do not follow. This nourishment does suffice. More fair than foul, the liar as I name him offers secret knowledge of a subject named calculus, an advancement of science and human knowledge. Purporting that science and knowledge are the domain of his grace, with me he sat and prayed. He uttered prayer and did not burn. Perhaps he may not be Satan incarnate. Day 5. Vec the liar, as I have come to know the wolf, arrives once more laden with morsels. He doth speak from his slippery tongue that I be destined to know of his grace this eve. No more be spoke by the serpent whence the event comes. Night 78. Talk about time skip, holy shit. At this witching time mine eyes have holden sights of the domains of luminance from his grace. Thine time is bereft, for I return my venture begone this dark land. No more shall I witness the powers of him above and return to life be normal. The journal ends. What the crap is that? What the crap? What the crap? Is this for real? It can't be, but I guess it is entirely possible. I am sitting in the bed that Sir Isaac Newton probably sat in with the same stuff he used. This is kind of strange, but I guess that is going to be expected. I shut my eyes and they are heavy with sleep. I can't believe this. Night 2. I am startled from the hatch door opening and then slamming shut. My brain doesn't want to cooperate as I push myself awake off the bed. My feet touch the cold floor and I am reminded that I am alive. It still feels like a dream, I think. This is reality, my boy. Wake up. I see the demon butler, Vec, coming down the stairs with a platter of food. I remember from the journal that he would do this every morning. I see you're still here. Excellent. I also see that those journals are real. You brought me breakfast. Oh no, this isn't breakfast. We don't have mornings or afternoons, just nights. I just know from experience that humans are more accustomed to and are much more pliable after eating sustenance when they wake. Vec puts the platter down on the table. He pulls a chair from the table for me to sit. He pushes the chair in under me and takes the seat directly across the table. I look down at the food and up at the grinning demon. If he wanted to harm me, he would have done so by now. I know full well this isn't always the case. I'm trying to convince myself, reassure myself that I'm safe. Either way, I can't do much without food. I pick up the old silver spoon and begin to eat. Vec's eyes stare at me and almost look through me. I feel very self-conscious, and I can feel my body begin to shake off the heavy weight of sleep. The chair against my back, the cold ground under my feet, my hair sticking up a bit, the crust at the corner of my eyes. My boy, go wash up, freshen up, what's going on here? I eat the meal and drink down the water, washing down the last bits of calories. That certainly is a way to describe eating that I've never heard, but okay. Thank Vec. I mean, you don't want to be rude, why wouldn't you thank him, I guess I should have said thank you for the meal. It is not a problem, Locker. I'm glad to be dealing with a human who has manners. Your peers were always so distrustful. Well, can you blame them? You look like the devil, mother flipper. I am well aware of my own physical shortcomings. When it comes to your judgments, you equate appearance with status and station. A quick and dirty way of reduction. It is also my fault you perceive me in such a manner. This town's catch and release program with humans has led to some issues back on Earth. Catch and release? I'm not a fish. To the town, you are more of a shark than a fish. All the other swimmers would rather have the shark out of the water. They will send out a ship of hunters to catch the shark and gut it. Is this analogy working for you? Yes, it's quite clear, but why? I'm not a danger to anyone. I'm well aware of that. In your current state, you're not a threat to anyone or anything. You make it sound as though this is going to change. Only time will tell. Creatures tend to change in Blackgate. Speaking of Blackgate, what is this town? I don't remember if I asked you or not. Yesterday was a blur. You just said there was a plan for me and I have to protect this place. It doesn't seem like I'm protecting anything by hiding, mother flipper. Blackgate is at the edge of two sides. It is akin to a wall. You will protect us when the time is right, I hope. A hopeful devil. Interesting. What is Blackgate holding back? A force we have affectionately named the Eternal. I've never seen this lore. When I played this game, I never saw any of this shit. I don't know what is going on right now. It doesn't have any regards for what is right or wrong. It's simple and destructive, a force of nature. It doesn't have any regards for what is right or wrong. Is that what I'm protecting the town from? In simple terms, yes. You expect me to stop a force of nature, especially something with an ominous name like the Eternal. Blame Andras for the silly name, not me. You might be able to stop it, you might not. I'm not convinced yet. Andras says you are capable enough. Who is Andras? Andras is the mayor of Blackgate. He's the one to blame for your misfortune. He's the one trying to harness your great strength for his personal gain. I don't know how successful his plan will be. I don't know all of the details. I don't even know what you're capable of doing. If it were any other monster, I'd have a better clue. That is to say, when compared to a demon like myself. You know what to expect. My powers and abilities are easily read. Humans, however, are a bit more tricky. So I'm a giant question mark? You expect me to fight something I've never seen or heard of before? Not me. I am merely the messenger. When can I go home? Is it like some reward if I win? That is up to Andres. Are you curious about the town above? I would be lying if I said I wasn't. Then you might want to read up on what happens to those who show interest in the town and its inhabitants. Vec gets up and goes to the bookshelf. He goes over the quickly to one book and pulls it off the shelf. He brings it back to me and I grab it with my open hands. Man, this game, I love this game. But the typos, damn, mother flipper. Like, her name was Amelia, and it will give you a better idea of what to expect from the inhabitants of Blackgate. Take a read while I make my rounds in the town. I need to eliminate suspicions. I'll be back later with more food. Vec opens the hatch and leaves with his tail swinging behind him. I sit alone and chill creeps over me. I get up and onto the bed, taking the covers and wrapping myself up. I open the journal and start to read. The first page just says, Amelia Earhart, yo, the bitch that got eaten by crabs? That bitch? That hoe? You telling me the whole time? That bitch done landed in Blackgate. God damn, God motherfucking damn. I shouldn't be surprised, but somehow I am. This place gets more and more interesting. I flip the well-worn pages. They seem to be worse off than Isaac Newton's journal. This is rather strange since the other journal is much older. I read on. July 3rd, 1937. The Canary has crashed in a field after major electrical malfunctions. My previous stunts have thoroughly trained me in such emergency situations. I'm not so easily dispatched as all these men seem to think. However, all of my training and strength is not enough for what I must face now. A devil, the devil himself, named Vec, approached me on the night of the Canary crash. To be frank, the destruction of my precious is more troublesome than the horned one. I've faced many demons before in men, and just putting horns on one points out the obvious. However, his hospitality is welcomed in this state of emergency. I have a lovely room to stay in and plenty of amenities so that I can fix my plane and leave this town. I find the climate, force station, and buildings out of place. Many nights have passed, except tonight was quite different. I met another member of the town today. His name is Vincent. Yo, everybody in this town immortal or something? Like, bro. And he appears as if a cat has taken human form. It is such a strange sight to see, and I'm glad I got to see it. I can say I am one of very few to witness such amazing sights. Vincent himself was incredibly pleasant and inquisitive. I told him of my journey and his eyes lit up. He wanted to hear more of my transatlantic flight. He had to cut his visit short, akin to how one sneaks in and out of their house. He promised to visit me again. Right after Vec left, Vincent came in like clockwork. This cat seems a little too slick for his own good. He mentioned that he worked at the town's library. There are books from different worlds and places that he wished he could go to. I'm realizing now that my flight around the world might be flight around the universe. How I wish to visit this library and read all of these undiscovered books. It reminds me of when I was just a girl, flying away with the words written by others. With these new books, I could fly to worlds never before thought of. Vincent promised to bring a number of his favorite novels to me. I learned that Vincent and I have more in common than I originally thought. He was also a traveler back home. His planet is a world filled with sand and beautiful mountains. The book he brought with him tonight is his travel journal. It contained painted pictures of landscapes. Much like myself, he wanted to cross his world, but his journey was cut short when he ended up in Blackgate. The poor cat spent far too much time speaking with me because Vex showed up and saw us together. The devil said little except that since my cover was blown, I could visit the town now. Vincent said I would get to meet Sooth, Floros, Alan, the rest of the librarians, and the newest member, Kitako. Tonight I will see the town for the first time. Vincent will arrive shortly and we will visit the library first. The penmanship is different from here on out. Amelia Earhart died after she was attacked by Gears Tuskweather. She never got to see all those sights. She never got to read all the books she sought. The canary marks her grave. May she rest in peace. Well, that's quite morbid. I take the book to bed and sleep the rest of the night away. What the hell was that all about? Vec opens the hatch and walks down the steps. There's a tray of food in his hands again. It better be McDonald's, cause I swear to God I'm craving that McDouble, boy. He places it on the table and we sit together. I eat and he watches. Yo, you hungry? You want a bite? All I hear is the sound of my own chewing. I believe that word is mastication. If I had signal, I would just look it up. You should start writing. Write about what? A journal of what you're experiencing, what your thoughts are, and any questions you have. As you can see, many others took the time to write. Why haven't you? I've been busy reading. I've been busy reading all the other journals first. I see. But wouldn't you like to leave a mark? Let the next one know that you were here? I'm not famous or important enough to leave a journal. That's not true. You're exceptionally famous for all the wrong reasons. Still, you should write. Leave behind evidence that you even existed in this world. He really is intent on me writing. He makes it sound like he knows my future. That does sound reasonable. I'll start writing. Good. Vec gets up and grabs a brand new journal from the shelf. He snatches a few pens in his hand and comes back to me. The devil pushes my tray away just as I finish eating. He replaces physical food with mental exercise. Vec sits uncomfortably close. How do I start? Write what the date is. Write what you're thinking. I start writing. It is difficult at first with someone watching every pen stroke. I feel uneasy if I make a spelling mistake or if I'm not quite sure what to write next. I start with the basics. Who I am, where I am, and why is there a devil watching me? My thoughts begin to flow. Vec hasn't left my side, yet I almost forget he's still here. I start writing. I start with jumbled thoughts and confused lyrics. Poems and proses scatter the pages. It's chaotic fun to let my mind wander through the cold pockets of my brain, letting them light up for the first time in years. It's like breathing after drowning. Smiles are the first that show prominence. This is like that. It's easier to describe the indescribable with internal labels, a skewed worldview that only you know. Being here has corrupted my view even more. Here, I'm in the devil's basement. Am I okay with this? I'm not okay with this. Survey says, no, mother flipper. This is far from being alright. I guess I haven't run away yet because it really is a devil. That fact brings weight to my situation and validity to his words. You can't not trust a demon to some extent. As a pirate movie once said, you can trust a lying man to be untrue. I am defending my captor. Have I developed Stockholm Syndrome? It's not Stockholm Syndrome unless he asks me to do something like write a... Oh. Do I have Stockholm Syndrome? Of course not. You're free to leave this basement anytime you'd like. However, the town will not take kindly to you. So I'm trapped still. Yes, we're all trapped. I must leave and make my rounds. Keep writing to keep your mind busy. We wouldn't want you catching cabin fever. Great. Beck gets up from the table and leaves the basement. I am left again with my thoughts in these journals. The day passes uneventfully. Vec comes back with lunch and dinner, and I write to my heart's content. I start writing about the dark road I was on, the police lights and the field. My first encounter and the decisions that led up to me sitting here writing. Writing about writing. This is going meta. Well. With that said, I guess,